Alright, YouTube. We've got a Jiffy Model 30. The old girl's got a freaking blown head gasket. I'm only getting about 50 psi out of it. I'm going to take it apart, change the gasket. At least that's the plan. And we'll go ahead, get the compression tester hooked up, and just give it a few pulls and show you guys that. I'll be right back. Gonna pause it. Now, actually, before I do the compression, I'm gonna try and set this so you guys can hear it. Hear what it sounds like with a blown head. You might not be able to hear it. I'm not gonna run it, obviously, inside, but you know, I'm gonna do a little. I'm gonna pull it over, see if you can hear it. It makes a little puffing sound. I don't know if you can hear that air leaking. But you can hear the air blow off. Every time it pulls, it chugs, you can hear it. So that's something to think about when you're buying a used one, you know. Put the kill switch on, you know. Put the kill switch on, or disconnect the, you know, spark plug and pull it over a few times. Hear if you hear anything. These are very great, very super strong motors. I mean, this thing runs, you know, it cuts, it drill through a foot of ice, no problem. Well, I mean, there is a problem. It bogs out, but she'll cut. So you always kind of want to check that stuff. Another thing you can do when you're buying it is look up here underneath the cover by the head, and you'll see the black stuff. When I pull the cover off, I'll show you that. So we got around 55 psi. Now I'm pretty sure if I left this here long enough, she would start leaking down. Now, I'm not sure what this should have for compression, but it's definitely leaking. It's also funny, I don't know what happened. I pulled it over, and I don't know if you can see the oil, but she's spraying out of somewhere. And the spark plug. You know, I had this running last night. She's loaded right up with liquid. I mean, it's running, it's burning, but it's clearly not where it should be. Okay, I've got the cover off. Now, I suspect, you know, it's leaking right here. Right in this area, right up top. You know, as you can see, she's definitely leaking. Like, this whole thing was black. I cleaned it down, ran it for 5 minutes last night, if that, and this is what it looked like. You know, she definitely, the old head gasket's definitely leaking. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there's a trace of oil right here. You can see I wiped it, and I wiped it gone. When I did, it's gone. So, you know, that'd be my guess. So, we got the head off. You can tell, you can see right here, this black stuff right here. This is where, you know, all the exhaust was coming out. You know, the head gasket definitely failed. You know, you can see that when I smear it away. That's oil. And this old girl, she might want a new spark plug too. I don't know. She's loading up. She's definitely oily inside of there. I'm gonna grab my light, shine it right in there, see what it looks like. You know, and here's the head. You can see it on the head right there, where, you know, the gasket failed. Clearly. So I got my light. Watch, I'll turn the camera light on. See what it looks like down there. I can't. Okay, grab my light. 1 second. Yeah. That's cool. Definitely still got some cross hatching going on. Looks like it looks a little crappy right here. Some scoring, but I don't know if that's gonna play a role. In the fact of the compression. But I know that freaking head gasket right there being blown didn't help with the compression any. So I'm gonna clean this up and slap it back together and see what happens. Let's shooting for more than 50 psi, that's for sure. So here we are, folks. Head gasket area is all cleaned up. Now, I don't know what this hole is and this hole is, but it does nothing. These three are the bottom ones are the mounting, and this one is the mounting. Now, I don't know where the rest of the gasket went, but had I had the whole thing, you would see it failed where the third bolt would be. In this gasket, for instance. But this one, the old one coming out, did have 3 bolt holes. This newer Model 30 only has, 5 bolts. It's missing one. It makes no sense to me. Now I've got an old one-fister, one arm, one-fister parts motor here. I'm looking at this head. This one, if you can see it, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 bolts. This top one right here, where my finger is, my middle finger here, is missing on this model that I have. Why? Guess they thought they didn't need it. Which is stupid, because that's where the freaking head failed. Head gasket. But, I mean, whatever. This is an old Model 30. It's old. You can actually see the light hits it the right way. Right here. Where the way the gasket was. It has the loop. You can see it right here. It's got the loop where the gasket sat. There's just no bolt hole in this one. So, I'm going to bolt it all back together now. Here's the head all cleaned up. By the way, I keep all my bolts in a magnet ball. But, here we go. See you back in a few.